Alright guys, we're back here in my dining room to do this week's work in Lesson 8 of Word. So as you can see, I've already clicked the links in the Google Classroom assignment. One has gotten me to Office 365, the other one has gotten me to the Lesson 8 folder. One thing about this week's lessons that's going to be really important is that you download all these pictures. You can open the files from here in Word Online, but you'll need to download the pictures and they will be in your downloads folder on your Chromebook. You can download them individually by clicking on the three dots here and then just say download. It's probably the easiest way to do each one individually. You could, I guess, go back here and click on the whole folder and download the whole folder if you want. But you only need the pictures is really what I'm most concerned with. The other files you can open, the other two files you can open actually in Word Online. So back here in Office 365, first thing I'm going to do is click on OneNote and then click on my Microsoft Imagine Academy 2020 notebook in OneNote so we can open that up. If you're working in Teams, you know how to get there in Teams. You would click on Teams and then open up OneNote in there. I'll go ahead and make sure I add the files to Teams as well, just so that we have them in multiple places. So content library, go to Word, go, and then we'll scroll down to Lesson 8 today. Okay, now Lesson 8, to be honest, you're only going to be able to do about half of it, and probably not even that. We're going to be inserting pictures. Again, this is why we need the pictures in our downloads. So if you haven't done that yet, again, same thing, right? File, download. You can do that with all these so that we have them all, right? And again, they will appear in your downloads folder. So it's not going to ask you where to put them. It's just going to say, okay, I saved them. They're in your downloads folder, which is not a big deal. Just you'll want to know where they are. So you make sure you download all of them. And then let's see what it says we're going to do next. So to insert a picture, we're going to actually just start with a blank document. So I'm going to go back here. If I click on these 9 dots, it gives me all the apps, and I could either go back to Office 365 or I can just click Word here, and it'll open Word, and then I can click on New Blank Document to open a new blank document, and then I can just start. What's nice is that it'll create a document and it'll save it automatically for you on your OneDrive. So now the only thing we're going to add here is vacationing. It loads up, there it is, vacationing, if I can spell, with family. Okay, then we're going to change, see if we read the instructions, we're going to change the text. So we're going to change it to Cambria, size 28, and bold. One of the quickest ways in Word, both in the online version and in the desktop version, to select text, especially when it's the only text that's there, is to do a triple click. So click, 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 and it selects the whole line of text. Now I can use the mini toolbar, which pops up, and I can change this to, scroll down here to Cambria. There it is, size 28 and bold. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and get the pictures. Now, having downloaded all the pictures, when we go to upload them here, go to Insert, Picture, and then click Choose File, and it should open a little pop-up. It's not going to look like mine because you're on a Chromebook, but it's the same idea. You're going to make sure you go to your Downloads folder, and you should see the pictures that you downloaded. This one is the one we want, family traveling by airplane. Click open that, and then click Insert, and it'll insert the picture. There's a lot of things you can do in Word Online that you still can do, that you could do in the Word app as well. One of them is resizing. One thing you're going to want to make sure, because it's assuming you're in the Word app, there's differences in how it works. We're not going to do this one, but I can tell you how to get around it. In the Word app, there's an option in inserting pictures. When you click insert and you select picture, one of the options that's in the app is to actually insert a screenshot or a screen clipping, which then basically gives you like a version of the snipping tool, and then that can be thrown into your document. If you're going to do that on your Chromebook, it's a little bit different, and I didn't want to really go through it because it's not something that you would do in Word on an exam. But you could just take a screenshot of an image that you want instead of inserting the image itself, and then take that screenshot and then just insert, like save the screenshot and then just insert it like you would any picture. Okay, so that's doing screenshots. Well, we can do different things with the picture. We can crop pictures, and we will be able to rotate them. The difference is we will not be able to remove any background or anything like that, and we'll be limited in what styles we can add. So, but for this part, it does want you to go ahead and save this. So before we forget, let's go File, Save As, do a Save As copy. You could also just simply rename this, but I'm going to make sure I save it in the folder that I want. So Microsoft Imagine Academy, Word, and then if I need to, I think I'm going to need to create one folder, new folder for lesson 8. So I'll create that one, and then we'll go into that folder. Okay, and then what I can do here is I can save an initial copy, and then once I have it saved, there we go, it's just reloading it from the place that I saved it. If I go to File and then go to my Save As, but I'm just going to click Rename, and it's called Family Vacation. So now I have a copy of it with the name that it's looking for. So in this one, we're going to do, we're going to edit this picture. It's going to more or less look like this. It might look a little slightly different, but what we're going to do is we're going to resize it first. When we go to resize it, first thing we're going to make sure, when we click on the picture, we click on the picture context menu. Make sure this box is checked. It may not be checked to begin with. If it's not checked, just click it once to check it. This will lock the aspect ratio, so if you change one dimension, it'll change the other one to match it so that the picture doesn't get all skewed and look weird. And then you can use the arrows to click up. We can go as big as we want, like 4.9, I think is what they say. You can also resize by selecting and typing in and then hitting enter, things like that. And again, because we locked the aspect ratio, it allows us to change one dimension while we change the other one. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we have it set to this value before we do any rotation. So let's type in the, in here we're going to type in 2.92 and hit enter, because you notice that the arrows only allow us to move up and down by a full 0.1, which is not quite fine enough for going to 2.92. So now we can rotate it. If we click on the rotate drop down, it gives us kind of some basics. The rotate left or right 90, flip either direction, but we can click rotate options to bring up the format picture pane and choose a different rotation. We could use the arrows here, or we could just simply type in 350 and hit enter, and it rotates at 350. It also moves it so that it's not covering up any of the text, which is nice. Okay. From here, we can do more stuff if we wanted to. We're not going to hit the tab key. We could crop. If we crop, click on the crop. Okay, and you'll notice we get it. It shows it to us in straight up and down. And if we want to crop, in this case, it says we're going to crop a little more. All right, we could, let's see. We're going to make it so that this side is a little bit closer to this arm waving. All right, anything else? Okay, on the top. So we're going to bring the top down so that it's much closer to the pink hat. There we go. Something like that. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be enough. So let's see, lower left. Okay. So we can drag from the sides. We can drag from the corners. We could crop more. I think we're going to be okay, though. So, and then we'll adjust the size to 2.51. Okay. So we can go ahead and re-click this cropping button, and it crops the picture. And then in this case, we're going to go to 2.51 as the height. There we go. So it's a little bit more zoomed in, but with them, of course, we made it smaller. We're still rotated though, which is nice. Okay. As far as styles go, we can do some styles here. If you click the drop down, you can choose from other styles. So we should be able to do at least one of these. We're looking for the bevel rectangle to apply. Okay, so the bevel rectangle, let's see, if we just mouse over these and move slowly. See, don't see one yet. Beveled oval. Should probably just pick the ones. Let's see. There it is, bevel rectangle. So we'll select it, and now it looks like a beveled rectangle with a little shadow. I'm going to click X to close that out. In the online or in the app, you would be able to kind of control these individual things, and that's really what it's doing here. It allows you to control the border and the shadow and everything like that, and all these other effects. We just can't do that in the online version. We can choose one of these styles and kind of stick with it, or we can clear out the style and bring it back to what it originally was. Okay. SmartArt graphics, again, are another one that we can't do. We already kind of know that we can't insert SmartArt graphics into in the online version. You'll notice it's not anywhere on the insert. We could, in the regular app version, we could convert that to a SmartArt graphic and then add more stuff to the SmartArt if we wanted to. So as far as brightness, contrast, color, and artistic effects, it's more stuff that we won't be able to do here. Again, that's stuff you could do. If you really needed to, you could do it in a separate editor and then insert it. But they are things that you could do in the app in the regular app. You can go to the picture tools, the format tab, and then go to corrections, and you can choose to sharpen or soften, brightness or contrast, things like that. Add an artistic effect to make it look really cool. Okay, and then you could also remove a background. That's something that's kind of cool. We could, and it would have you go through and remove the plain background, so you would just see the people. But unfortunately, we can't do that in the online version. It's not something that is possible. You could take the picture, put it in another thing, another app online, and do it. But again, the main thing, like even though these are workarounds for the online version, I'm not too concerned with that, because this is really about Word and being able to do the stuff in the Word exam. So since that's it, we're not gonna spend too much time on that. In terms of text around the picture, you'll notice there's a wrap text option here, so we can put it in line with the text, which means it's a bit more or less the picture is in the same line as the text. We could set it up so that it's a square with the text to the right, so it's a square to the left. We could flip that so that it kind of makes a square around the picture, and then any text around it would flow, would stop before going in, and then afterward it would continue flowing around it. We could put it behind the text so that the text is on top, and then leave it in front of the text, which is okay. Here it's, let's see, so if we have it what it was, which was in line with text, right? If we hit enter and we said, don't wait, call now with an exclamation point, I think, or don't wait, call. Either way, I guess it has don't wait and then call if I'm doing it exactly what they're saying. Okay, so you see, it kind of treats it like if I were to put the text on the same line as the image, it treats it like the image is like one of the parts of the text. So since it doesn't fit all the way over here, it goes to the next line just like text would. Okay, so instead, and I guess we could type the following text. You know what I'm going to do? You're looking at an adventure with lots of, okay, I guess I missed that part. So if you are looking for an adventure with lots of activities that you can do as a family, I guess it was adventure, lots of activities you can do as a family, such as bike riding, rafting, or then call Margie's travel agency. There we go. Then call Margie's travel agency. And then it tells us what we can do. They will book all tours and outside activities. They will book all tours and outside activities, such as bike riding, rafting, or zipping. Such as bike riding, rafting, or zipping. They planned our last vacation, comma, and we had a wonderful time, all caps, together as a family. See if I can remember to type that. They planned our last vacation, and we had a wonderful time as a family. It looks like I misspelled activities here. Actually, I just forgot an I. There we go. And then it tells us to hit enter twice and then, okay. So now you see it kind of, we get this whole thing. This is in line with the text currently. We're gonna change that though. We're gonna switch the text, change all this. So again, we could select it all. We could also triple click and change it to 16. We can also do that here, triple click change it to 16. There we go. Oops. Don't think we want to change that though. That's the price of triple clicking is the problem. Oops. Didn't quite get it. Yeah. It's problematic with triple clicking, so it selects everything, not just what you just typed. So there we go. And then maybe I think we're okay there. Right? Okay. So now we're going to select a position. You're going to have a lot more options in the app than you are in here. So, but the position top right with square text wrapping would be the equivalent of choosing this and clicking here and doing just a square right. Okay, and then maybe we hit enter here. There we go. It looks a little bit better. So you would choose this one in the app, but on the online version, that's what we would do. Okay. We could move this wherever we need to move it, at least in terms of that. I just hit Control Z though to move back. So if we wanted it up here, we could, or we could put it where it was, which was in between, right? It was right in front of this. Oops. Where was it? It was somewhere in here. So if we just hit square right again, it'll fix that. So we could drag it wherever we want to, or we could just hit it with the square right, and that's what. All right. So, and then we could. Looks like we want to change the "Don't Wait" call to 36-point font. So select that and move that one up to 36. Okay, and that's pretty much all we can do with that one. With the next one, this is the one that's really going to be tough because we can't do any shapes, WordArt, or SmartArt. Those are all in the Insert tab. You have a whole bunch of shapes to choose from. You would just draw the shape like you would anything else, draw it, and choose whichever one and edit it. I think we've done some of this before with other things, but you would have access to a new context tab that would allow you to format the shape and give you different fills. But unfortunately, it's stuff we're just not going to be able to do in the online version. So I would encourage you to read through this, though, and familiarize yourself with it so that when it comes to an exam, you would know what to do. But it's a lot of stuff that's pretty intuitive. Right? You can choose from different styles that are built in based on the colors that are in the actual in the document already. Or you can add your own colors, of course. And then WordArt, of course. WordArt's the stuff that you see that makes it wavy or big or block or whatever. You see that quite a bit. And then the SmartArt graphics will make graphics that will look, you know, make diagrams and things that are pretty cool to see. But again, something we can't do in Word Online, unfortunately. So I hope this was helpful for you. Remember, you can always email or Synergy mail, or you can come to my office hours this week. I'm opening my office hours to everybody, so I'll be here Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. and then also on Thursday from 11 to noon. So if either of those work, I'll put those links out about an hour before the office hours start so that everybody has the link. I'll make sure I email them as well. So again, I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you next time.